I'm gonna start lesson. Okay, so how lesson is gonna run as usual is we will go through the notes. I think we should be able to complete them. Yes, it's not so much stuff. And then I will go through the questions that we did online. I think we will be running this topic for at least 2 or 3 more weeks. So I will not worry if today you guys, cause there's quite a lot to memorize on this topic. For the topic on reproduction, it's not very concept heavy, meaning there's not a lot of application questions. It's a lot of memory work. Okay, so let's say we cannot remember certain terms or certain functions today, not to worry. I will revise again next week. But I need y'all to highlight and copy down whatever you see on the screen. Yanxing can? Okay, so I'm going to start. So as you learn about plant reproduction, similarly, okay, humans, animals, they all need to reproduce. So these are the things that you need to know for this topic. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to answer all these questions, or you need to know all these concepts. All right. So why is reproduction important? I think I shared this when we were doing plant reproduction. Okay. All we learned in primary 3 that the one characteristic of all living things is that they can reproduce, meaning when they reach a certain age in adulthood, they can produce young of their own. Okay, so that is reproduction. Why? Why is it important? So the reason why reproduction is important is the dark bolded line in the middle of the paragraph. We reproduce to ensure continuity of the species. So imagine one day if all the chickens suddenly cannot reproduce. Okay, then the entire world will run out of chickens and the entire population, the entire species will go extinct. Okay, this is why reproduction is important. Now, when living things reproduce, we also touch on the topic of hereditary. That was, I think, right before we did plant reproduction, we learned about the family tree. We learned about parents. When they reproduce, they pass on characteristics to their children. Okay, so this is a process known as heredity. So Yanxing, can you give me some examples? What are some characteristics that parents can pass on to their child?
Double eyelid.
Good. So whether you have double or single eyelid, usually that comes from either your mother or your father. Ziyi, can you give me another example? Something that children can get, or something, a characteristic children usually has that comes from their parents. What else apart from double and single eyelid?
Attach earlobe
And
and detach.
detach. Very good. Pauline, not Pauline, Phoebe, sorry. What is one thing that is not from your parents that is unique to the child?
Eyebrows.
Okay. Uh, eyebrow. Uh, What about the eyebrow?
Got thick and thin.
Uh, okay, that one is a bit tricky. I won't say that. Okay, can we forget about the eyebrow? Let's talk about something even more obvious. I'm touching it now.
Hair.
What about the hair?
Can be curly and straight.
Oh, curly and straight is usually from the parents. How about my hair length? Phoebe agree because I can cut hair anytime, right? So hair length is something that is not okay. That is not passed on from your parents. What else, Avi? What else is not passed on from your parents?
Your fingerprints.
Sorry?
Your fingerprints.
Yes, your fingerprints. Very good. Phoebe agree. Every single person has unique fingerprints. So that is definitely not passed on from your parents. So you guys need to know, okay, what is passed on from your parents, what is not. Okay, Amelia, this genetic material, okay, that is passed from generation to generation, where is it found? This hereditary information, this genetic information. Amelia, where is it found? Right. Amelia, you heard my question?
Yes.
Okay, where is it found? Where is the genetic information found?
Your DNA.
Very good. Where is the DNA found? Where is the DNA found?
In the
Sorry?
s-
Found where?
in the nucleus.
Very good. Found in the nucleus. And specifically because we are looking at reproduction, we will talk about the nucleus of the male and female sex cell. Okay, can you all please write this down on your worksheet? Darius, do you have the worksheet printed out? Yes or no, Darius? Why? Why don't you have the worksheet printed out, Darius? Hey, Darius, I'm waiting for your answer. Yes, why?
No,
Huh? Why? Why not printed?
I didn't know.
Do you have a printer at home, Darius? You have?
But I still, I didn't know that I had to do
Do you
that.
have a printer at home? Answer my question.
Yes.
Can I send it to you and you print it out now?
Okay.
Okay, great.
To where?
To where? I send it in the chat group.
Over there.
Give me a minute, yeah?
I don't really know the chat group. Maybe my parents can ask me.
Is your parents at home?
Yeah, my mother's at home.
Okay, then you ask her to come to the computer and help you print it out, can?
Okay.
Guys, sorry, give me a minute, okay? Okay, let's move on. I don't know where he went to. Okay, so let's talk about sexual reproduction. Okay? Now, why sexual? When I say sexual reproduction, it involves the male and the female. Okay, so there is a difference between sexual and asexual. If I have time, I will talk about this. Or maybe next week, then I'll talk about this. This is not so important. But asexual, can you all write down? It only involves one. How do I say it? It only involves one cell. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, sexual reproduction involves the male and female reproductive cell. So asexual reproduction is usually for unicellular organisms, living things with only one cell, like bacteria, like yeast. Today, we will focus on sexual reproductions, where we have the fusion. Fusion means coming together. Okay, if you don't know what fusion means, please write this on top. Yanxing, copy down what fusion means, coming together, okay, of the male and female cell. I will talk about how it comes together later. Darius is in the chat group already. Do you see it? Okay, so most animals reproduce by sexual reproduction. And I wrote here versus unicellular organisms. All right. So these are two things that are very important that you need to learn today. The male reproductive cell is known as the sperm. Okay. The female reproductive cell is known as the egg. So for most animals, not only humans, okay, male reproductive cell sperm, female reproductive cell egg. Yanqing, are you there? I can't see you. Kenna, are you copying and highlighting, Yanqing? Yes, good. Okay. So what happens during fertilization? Basically, the nucleus of the sperm, which is the male cell, okay, will fuse. Fuse means it will join. Okay, the nucleus of the sperm will join together with the nucleus of the egg. And at the end of the day, a fertilized egg will form, and this fertilized egg will develop into the young animal. Okay, so the sperm and the egg will come together. The nucleus of the egg and the sperm will join, will fuse. This is a very important word that I need you to learn today. Fuse. All right, and a fertilized egg will form, which eventually develops into the young child or the young animal. Avi, are you okay? Are you copying? I'm going to move on very, very soon. Darius, can you join us while your mom is printing? You can sit down and listen first, all right? Okay, I'm going to move on to the next page. Do we have any questions? Darius, do you understand what I'm talking about? Darius, do you understand what I'm talking about? Yes or no? Darius. Darius, I'm asking you a question. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Yes or no? You don't understand? Which part do you not understand? From where? Darius, I need you to turn on your mic and speak into your mic.
I think the last point.
So you know what's a male reproductive cell and female reproductive cell?
Yes.
Okay, what is fertilization? Is the process, focus here first, where the sperm and egg will come together, okay? And inside the sperm, there's a nucleus, correct? Hello? Inside the egg, there's also a nucleus, right? So fertilization is when these two nucleuses come together, okay? And develops into a fertilized egg. Can? I will show the picture later. Do you understand, Darius? For now? Okay, good. So, for reproduction, you need to be able to identify both the male and female reproductive system. So, if they give you a picture, you need to identify these two parts in bold, and you need to know the functions. I repeat, you need to know what are the parts of each system and the functions. For male reproductive system, eyes on the screen, Yanqing, I don't know where you're looking at, Phoebe. Okay, the two important parts are 1 and 2. All right, for 1, we have this organ here. All right, this is known as the testes. Take note, 1 testes with an I. If I have 2 testes, it becomes E. So you need to see whether examiner is pointing to 1 or 2 in the exam. Clear? The spelling will change. Yanqing, do you understand singular and plural? Okay, great. Now, what is the function of the testes? You need to know it produces the sperm, which is basically the male reproductive cell. Okay, Ken?